Hello and welcome back, fellow lactose intolerants. Today we're making a simple grilled cheese sandwich. It's a sandwich made with very few components, but components that are very important. You see, these components make this simple grilled sandwich simple, but not that great if I'm honest. Keeping that in mind, however, it is edible. Here are the ingredients we're going to need when we're making this dish. Here we have bread, some butter, some shredded cheese, some sliced cheese, some what appears to be salt, a big thing of milk, some water, some flavored Kool-Aid juice, various assorted green things, and finally some mince to keep it fresh. The first step to this recipe is pulling out your frozen bread. That way we can begin the thawing process. In order to speed up the thawing process, we'll be steaming our bread over boiled Kool-Aid water. After steaming your bread for a few minutes, it should look something like this. You'll notice how beautifully and slightly pink it is. Quite like a salmon, honestly. It's really quite extraordinary how beautiful this bread is once it becomes steamed with this beautifully flavored Kool-Aid water. Now dry that bread. Dry it. Make sure it's nice and dry and brittle and good. Now what you want to do is get some of that nature flavor in there. Dry it. Once your bread is done drying, pull it down and bring it inside to continue the rest of the dish. Again though, make sure it's nice and dry. Since we will be using unsalted butter, our next step will be to salt the bread. The best way to do this is by massaging it in with your hand toes. This also allows you to maintain a spiritual, emotional, physical, and also sexual connection with your bread. This results in incredible depth of flavor and also raw emotion. Our butter is a little bit hard, so we're going to soften it with the Kool-Aid water from before. This will also infuse that excellent Kool-Aid flavor throughout the sandwich. Wow, look at that butter and Kool-Aid combo. Wow, that looks really good. Well, now our butter is a tad bit too runny, so we're going to put it into the fridge to let it thicken up. Time to take it out.
It turned out great.
And next, we butter the bread.
Mom, spaghetti.
So let us know when done.
Probably long enough.
Next on the list of things to do is to prepare the cheese. Now, when we're preparing the cheese, we want to make sure the cheese is evenly spread throughout the sandwich. This ensures proper taste, flavor, and also texture. Now you may have noticed I said taste and also flavor. Now there's a reason for this, for they are both very different things. Flavor is more about the depth of the flavor or the taste. What it allows you to do is experience it after you eat it. See, taste is what you experience when you first make contact with your tongue on the sandwich. Or whatever you're eating. Taste is your first... I can't do it. I can't do it. You may notice the cheese we're using has various shades of orange. Now, the method I like to live by is the deeper the orange, the deeper the flavor. Now, because of this, we want to make sure we use various types of cheese, because we don't want it to be too deep. If it's too deep, it's going to feel like we're swimming in the middle of the ocean. Way too deep. You're going to drown in it. The cheese we're using is pre-shredded. And you want to make sure you get pre-shredded cheese too, because if you get a solid block of cheese and have to shred it yourself, it becomes way too complicated of a dish. Again, this is a simple dish, guys, and so you want to get the cheapest, the worst kind of cheese, the plasticiest, the shredded cheese that's pre-shredded, okay? If you get the solid block of cheese, it's way too good for this dish. Like, way too good, okay? It'll taste way too good for the rest of the dish. It's gonna make it seem way, way off. Now remove your cheese, but don't forget about your cheese plan. We'll need that later. Welcome to later. I hope you remember your cheese plan because it's time to perfectly replicate it. Once the cheese is done and prepared, top it off with the other piece of bread. From there, it's time to cook. Now check and see if it's browned and ready to flip. It looks like it is! Perfect. Once the other side is browned and the cheese is melted, prepare for a feast. And now it's done. It's not great, but it is done. Time to enjoy your simple grilled cheese sandwich.
Okay.